I'm on the test server today to show you guys the brand new Burrow beam weapon. This thing pierces through mods, and I'm not even joking. It is crazy. Let's jump into some matches so I can show you how it works. It has been a very long time since we got a brand new beam weapon, and today is finally the day. This thing is insane. Prepare yourself. I'm about to fire it. It is crazy. We charge up and fire a huge blast. Look at that. Basically a Death Star laser, and this thing's damage is not going to disappoint you. We literally might be going into a beam meta. I'm just going to say that. So yes, this thing does actually pierce mods. I'm not joking. It goes past the mods partially. I don't, this thing is just crazy. Look at this damage. Destroyed. Now, keep in mind, these bots are a little bit weak for my strength here. I have maximum implants. There's a magazine size implant, so I really have 45 ammo, even though it says 30. I have a fire rate implant, and then I have, of course, a damage implant. There's no reload implant. The base reload of these is 3 seconds. That is definitely very good for it. The range is a little short. That's about the only limitation of this weapon, except it probably can't out-brawl Revokers right now. But honestly, it literally might be able to in some scenarios just because it has... I mean, I'm piercing mods. Like, that's crazy, dude. They called this a brawling weapon, like a close quarters kind of beam. But 80 meters range is not that close quarters. We can also pierce through and hit multiple people at once, so we can just delete people like that. I mean, dude, those are full HP mechs just deleted in like 2 seconds or whatever. This beam is just insane. I'm going to try it on some other mechs. I don't think Surge is the perfect combo. It does have a little bit of recoil, which is cool. It's a very... I mean, this thing is absolutely intimidating. I'm not going to lie. I'm all for a beam meta, but I just hope this thing isn't too OP, right? I want to see... I mean, it's funny. It's a funny weapon. It's cool. I just hope that it's not too... Literally, this thing might be too strong. I mean, piercing mods is just crazy. When I first saw it pierce mods, I thought it was going to be a bug on the test server. Because piercing mods would be ridiculous. That would be insane. But nope. This thing actually pierces mods. Like, bro, what? Now, as cool as this thing is, and as... I mean, I want there to be a strong beam within the game. Right now, beams are, like, the second worst category by a long shot. Beams and artillery are just really bad. But I don't want Plarium to be nerfing the old meta, which it needs to be nerfed. Stormrack and Revokers are too strong in the game right now. But this thing then coming in, if this is now the new meta, it's not a very good look for Plarium to do that. And we don't want it to be so overtuned. Now, again, I think part of the reason that this is so strong right now is because I am running 3 maxed out legendary implants. But you got to remember, that's what people run at endgame. That's what max meta players run. They run the strongest things possible, right? And this thing, the DPS on this, I mean, imagine the DPS of this thing, right? It has a short reload. The only thing I don't have is insane range. I have like, I think it's an 80-meter range. I think there isn't a range implant. I guess that kind of helps it. But like, can you really kill this from range if it's gonna pierce your mods? Like, it doesn't kill things quite instantly, but it's very close to it. Obviously, I think Eclipse here would be the best pairing for this right now in the game, right? It is a sustained fire weapon, I guess. I'll say that. So to some extent, that makes it not terribly OP on some things because they can't, you know, fight in sustained fire, but like it can delete like multiple mechs with one magazine especially if they're standing near each other. It's just crazy. I kind of want to try this on Seeker, but I know that the bots basically destroy Seeker no matter what. But you can see, I mean, you guys can see how strong this is. So the hope is that this thing isn't too overtuned. We'll see it when it comes to the live server. As with everything on the test server, we kind of just have to wait and see. Can I really guess, will this be meta? No, I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure this will be meta, or at least viable. I mean, this is going to be viable, let's be honest. You guys can see the damage. The damage of this thing is just so high, and it pierces mods. So this thing does have, yeah, a couple limitations. One, again, it's a sustained fire weapon, right? The thing with Revoker is that it just has the highest damage, but it also has no reload. This thing, you do have to charge up, which is one of its weaknesses. We have a bit of recoil. Now, you know, your FOV goes up, but that's not actually, like, you might think it, like, slows down my turn speed. It doesn't. I can still whip around. I just did a 360. But, like, you know, that's not really a problem. It has the delay where it charges up that red ball at the front, then it starts firing. So that's one thing. It doesn't instantly fire, which is a cool limitation to have, and it's also very intimidating because of that. It has to charge up this high damage a little bit, right? The reload is super short though, so that's not too much of a hindrance. And then also, the range again is the last limitation for this thing. Basically, like 80-meter range is just like, at the longer, end of mid-range, I would say, right? You can't snipe with this thing. You're going to still get stunned by Hemlock, whatever, whatever. Now, one problem with this is that it's not going to work on, like, less meta mechs, but on meta mechs, I feel like this will work very well, right? I'm using this on Eclipse and Surge, but, like, imagine this on Salvor. This would be very bad on Salvor. This would be very bad on, I don't know, like, Bastion. This wouldn't be that good on Bastion. You know, whatever kind of non-meta mechs. You have to sit on the open to use this thing, but if your mech can do that, then you are rewarded with insane damage. I can also do this thing I'm doing right now where I cycle from one to the other, which is pretty nice. And it basically gives me infinite. Again, remember, I'm using max pilot, max implants, and there's insane implants for this weapon, but you have to have all of them. And what's good about this one is there are implants at the lower rarity, so you won't have to worry about that. But yeah, the hope is that this thing won't be too OP. It does pierce mods, which, to be fair, at lower levels, mods aren't as present, so that's not terribly relevant necessarily there. The DPS of this weapon isn't, like, crazy high. The damage feels so high. I mean, it has great DPS, right? But it's not, like, as high as Stormax for burst damage, right? Stormax would out-damage this with burst damage, except that this thing pierces mods. That's the reason that I'm killing all these guys so quick, because I don't have to work through their mods and then, you know, actually do their HP, right? I do both at once. And I'm not certain how it spreads out. There will be a lot of tests have to be done. You know, is this thing hitting for the full damage? You know, it's doing 21,000 damage to all these guys. So is it also hitting the mods for 21,000 damage per hit? I don't know. I don't know how it works exactly, right? Again, we'll need to test all this. Right here, we can also hit both these guys, shred up that blockhorn thing. And again here, this is near my max range, but you can see it's basically like a medium range weapon. But yeah, we fire in salvos, but the reload being so short, you don't need a reload implant. If you want to increase your DPS, you're going to have to get those other implants. So this is more of an implant-heavy weapon. I guess you wouldn't have to use mag size, maybe? I'm not sure. It kind of depends. If this thing is able to one-clip everything without mag size implant, just with a fire rate implant, it might work. But, yeah. So this is an implant-heavy weapon, which means it's going to be a little bit restrictive on what mechs you want to use it on, or, you know, how powerful your builds can be with it, which is not a bad thing. That's not a bad thing, especially if it's a meta weapon. That's a nice, I guess that's another restriction I kind of mentioned earlier. So the design of this weapon, I would say, very cool, right? It doesn't look visually crazy, but it looks crazy when you fire it. It also sounds cool. I have my sound turned down, but it sounds like, you know, it's like a humming, kind of intimidating humming, which is cool. But yeah, very, very, very cool weapon, I would say. And then lastly, is it a good addition to the game? That's the last question we need to answer. And I think it is, right? One, beams need some love, right? It's okay for, you know, we've had close quarters meta. We used to have a sniper meta with EMs and railguns. Then we had a close quarters meta with Revoker, right? Close quarters will always be one category that's going to be pretty strong. But I think beams need some love. Beams have not been good ever since, like, grabs were kind of, like, okay. Never been meta, though. Beams have absolutely never been meta. You can see that we just delete things with Orion. Like, absolutely. I mean, this is definitely overkill. That's how you know a weapon's good. When it's like on Orion, you're like, well, this is silly. I don't need that extra damage. That's how this thing feels to me right now. But yeah, you are going to need a lot of implants to use this thing. But you can buy them. You should be able to buy them just from the implant store. So yeah, get your beam pilots ready. And yeah, this won't be too annoying if bots have it, I don't think. There is a charge up time, which is actually really nice when bots are using it, because it means their, you know, instant reaction time, snap lock onto the player kind of is negated. Just remember, you can get hit through your, like, other mechs with this thing, right? That's the one thing. It is the Burrow beam, so it does hit, like, everyone in a line, kind of, which is a good mechanic, I think. It's not like that's too OP or anything, and it kind of rewards you for that. Also, there you saw when we got dazed, we do keep firing the beam. It is, like, one tap. I just tap my mouse one time, and it fires the whole mag. I can also reload while I am firing, which is also very strong for this thing. Again, here, we're near our max range, but I'm still hitting for good damage at this range. Oh my gosh. Yeah, this thing's damage is just so crazy. I'm definitely excited for this gun, though. I mean, it seems cool. It's absolutely, like, menacing. And it's a much, like, funnier and more exciting meta if we have giant red, like, death beams rather than Revoker. Just spam, Revoker, spam, bum, 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 bum. You know? I feel like this is more fun. Bzzz. Everyone dies. Everyone dies to the Burrow beam. It's too strong. But there we go. We got a godlike already in less than 2.5 minutes. 4 million damages. It's insane. So yeah, to me, the Burrow beam looks like it's going to be meta. Again, I was using these 3 implants. Damage, mag size, fire rate implant, which is very cool. Here are the rest of the stats. There you go. Pretty simple. So our damage is only so high per mag because of those 2 implants there, mag and fire rate. So otherwise, this thing wouldn't be so crazy, which I think is not bad, because that means at end game it's going to be strong with those implants, but in earlier game it won't be so broken. Hopefully. So I hope this is a good addition to the meta, not too OP and not power creeping, especially after nerfing things like Revokers and probably Stormax, right? But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. If you did enjoy, drop a like, subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. Let me know your thoughts on this weapon in the comments. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one.